Let's discuss building social media campaigns because it takes a lot of time, research, planning, analyzing to create an effective social media campaign. Random posting is never as effective as creating proper campaigns and stories that help you meet your social media and marketing goals and strategies. Let's talk a little bit about how we set up social media campaigns. When you start with a new social media platform and you begin creating content, how do you know which campaigns you want to run? So a few things to keep in mind are, first, you have to evaluate the goals of that company and that brand. You have to see what their goals and objectives are overall for their marketing strategy. And that'll help you lay out themes and ideas for campaigns. Then you want to understand who their audience is and what that audience is doing and is interested in hearing. So let's say you've identified that your target audience is females between 15 to 20 because you're a fashion company that sells clothes for females. You want to see what that audience is already taking in on social media. You want to see, who they're following, who they're engaging with, what they're resharing, and that'll give you a good basis for the type of content that they're already taking in and are interested in. Then you want to do some industry research. So you want to see who your competition is and the type of content they're putting out. See what's working for them. So see your competition that's doing really well. See the type of posts and videos that they're putting up that people are engaging with, are sharing. And also look at the stuff that they're putting that isn't working for them, so you know what to avoid. Also look at what gaps there are. So see what you as a company offer, either in terms of products or in terms of your company culture or your company values, that can fill the gap that your competition isn't offering. So once you know that your audience is passionate about something and is interested in something, see how you can offer them something new so that you stand out amongst all of the other people on social media, all of the other businesses. Constantly keep an eye on new innovations and industry trends. Things are constantly changing. And on social media, you'll see a lot of trends, the hashtag bandwagon. So things that people all want to do. So somebody puts up a TikTok video, it goes viral, and everybody wants to copy that same idea, and it gets a lot of engagement. So see how you can join some of those trends and how it can be appropriate for the businesses that you're working with. So a lot of that stuff you can somehow fit within your content, even for businesses that might be a little bit more serious as compared to like maybe fashion brands. It's easier to incorporate that, but it also fits into a lot of, for instance, technology companies and any other type of company. You can fit a lot of those trends in as well. And then just generally in terms of that industry that you're working with, know the trends and new ideas that are coming out so you can put relevant content, because you never want to be outdated. Once you've decided the type of campaigns you want to work on, you can start laying them out. So there's a few things to keep in mind when you begin laying out a campaign. So some things that you need to define at the very beginning of your campaign. So don't go ahead and start with laying out your whole monthly calendar. Start with laying out your entire campaign first, because that way you can build a whole story and fit that into your schedule rather than having bits and pieces of that campaign that don't connect. And in turn, it's not going to be an effective campaign. Then it's going to be more like random posting with somewhat of a relevant theme. So when you start your campaign, you open up a document, lay out the goal of that campaign. So be very specific for what you want. So let's say you're a fashion company and you want to focus on marketing a particular dress, okay? You want to define exactly what you're marketing and also what your goals are. So what you want to get in return. So do you want to gain awareness for that particular product? Do you want to get more traffic to your site? Do you want to get more clicks, or do you want more sales? Maybe you get all of those things, but define those things and also define what audience is going to be interested in that product. Next, you want to define the timeline for your campaign. So understand, so let's say for dresses, you can kind of narrow down your timeline. You know that it's a seasonal item. You can define that, okay, for the summer months, I'm going to sell this. For other products, it might be different. It might not matter the time of year, but you might still want to um, identify the number of months or the length of that campaign, just so you know when you're going to start and end it. If you know you're going to run your campaign for 3 or 4 months, then you're going to define how many times you're going to post within that campaign. So let's say I'm running a campaign for 3 months. I'm going to say I'm going to post once every week about this campaign. So this campaign is going to be posted once a week for the next 4 months. Next, you want to define hashtags. So that's going to bring your whole campaign together. Defining, maybe you want to create a new hashtag that's going to be used throughout your entire campaign. It's going to unify it, but also do your research at this point regarding what hashtags are going to be most effective for this campaign. So find hashtags that are going to be specific, but also have a big reach. So um, you don't want to do something too general that's going to get you a massive reach but very little engagement, because it wasn't actually relevant to your product. So you want to focus more on hashtags that are going to give you engagement as compared to reach. And then also identify the platforms that you're going to use. So even though as a business you might have you might have accounts on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, this campaign is not necessarily going to be effective on all of those. So you want to define that here as well. And then you want to define and go ahead and create all of the posts that are going to fit within that campaign ahead of time. Because when you create them all at one time, then it becomes a full story. You can go through and continue your whole story as you're creating posts. If you do it throughout those 3 or 4 months that you're going to be posting, it's going to not be unified, and that story is going to end up breaking at some point. So once you've done this, you can go ahead and start laying out your calendar and placing these campaigns where you want to. This will help you realize if there's any gaps in your calendar that you want to go ahead and fill then. And then it'll help you put all your content down and schedule it ahead of time.